Why does it feel like we're rotting when we're not working on something? For me, when I'm deciding to take some time off, I find it hard to even not do any work anymore because I want to be progressing towards something. And I spent a lot of my life not progressing towards anything. So many years of my life I've spent in my bedroom playing video games and not working towards anything that I wanted to do deep down. I was letting life choose my life's decisions for me. And I needed to be taking decisions for myself. And I think where that feeling of rotting comes in. It's when you're not making decisions for what you want to be doing. It's called agency, having the ability to take decisions and action towards what you want. And I think the way to combat a feeling of rotting is by giving yourself agency. And you can do this in very small ways. You can decide, today I'm going to clean my room. I know it was a meme at some point with Jordan Peterson saying, clean your room. But there is something to it. Once you start doing something, it enables you to start doing the next thing. If I clean my room, I feel ready to do the next thing. Just that one small thing. If you're sat there feeling powerless, give yourself one thing that you can achieve. Very small thing. It might even just be make your bed. Again, that's a Jordan Peterson thing. Some of you may not even remember him. It was a long time ago, that meme. But there is something there to that. Give yourself something small to work towards. And when you get to the level where you're kind of addicted to productivity, it can be hard to pull away. That's when that feeling of rotting comes back in. But I think it all stems from having no say in your life and letting yourself float through life. And I spent many years floating through life. Make some decisions for yourself. Stop floating through life. And you should give yourself some agency. And just start leveling it up, go for a walk. That's a great way. If you're feeling stuck in a rut, go for a walk. It gives you a sense of, I achieved something today. And then you're more likely to do the next thing. In fact, say no to some things. This is very important. You should start saying no to a lot of things. That's one of the things that's going to benefit you greatly. Say no to that food that you know is bad for you. Say no to scrolling on your phone. Say no to the friend that's inviting you to do something that you don't really want to do. Tell them the truth though. Tell them why you don't want to do it. I'd rather do this instead. But start saying no and closing off those doors to things that are making you float through life, making it feel like decisions are being taken away from you. And focus on the things that you do want to do. I am a bit of an advocate, not for grind set, but for working towards what you want. And I tell you what, I've never felt more full of agency and more the furthest away from rotting than I have in the past year, where I pretty much just let myself get completely taken away with creating videos for YouTube. I just dedicate myself to it. I decided I'm just going to let this take over my life. And there's some days where all I do is edit, and then I'll make myself go out for a walk so I get some exercise in. Very important to look after yourself. And then I come back and I edit, and I let my mind go crazy with ideas. I write them all down, I plan them, and I make them. And a lot of those videos don't perform very well, but it's through the action of doing and trying that makes me feel like I'm moving away from that feeling of rotting. And honestly, throughout my teenage years and my 20s, I felt like I was rotting. It felt like I was going nowhere. There's so many hours spent just sat in my bedroom playing games, and it felt like, why am I even doing this? And I see that in the people I work with today. I work with young people, and they'll be sat there playing video games, and I'll say, why don't you come off, man? I can see it's frustrating you. It's not putting you in a good mood. And then he'll turn to me and say, there's nothing else worth doing. And that hurts me. Because I know what that feels like. I know how horrible it feels to think the only thing worthwhile doing is this video game right now. And it's really hard to convince yourself otherwise. I couldn't convince myself. The only thing that convinced me was time. And life happening and lessons happening slowly over time that showed me my way of thinking was wrong. And I can't change that guy's mindset. I can plant seeds, but I can't change his mindset. He has to live through that and find that lesson for himself. And I know that feeling all too well. That's why it pains me so much, because I know that feeling. That's the feeling of rotting right there. when it feels like this video game is the only thing worth doing in life, because it's not. But you have to go through that yourself. If you're there right now, you have to go through that yourself to come out the other end. I can't take this lesson on for you. But my main lesson here, my main message to you, is just take action towards one thing today that you want to work towards, and it should alleviate some of that feeling of rotting.